And I'm going to share my screen with you. Hopefully you can all see that. And let's have a look at this hand here, where you open 2 no trump. Not your partner responded 3 clubs, that's Stayman, but he's intervened with 3 hearts there. So here you have a 4-card spade suit you can show, so you bid 3 spades and your partner puts you in 4 spades. Anyway, you end up in 4 spades there, and the opponents start off by leading a heart. They lead the 5 of hearts, and down comes dummy, and you stop to make a plan. And in a suit contract, we're going to normally count how many potential losers we have here. So have a look at this hand, and in a moment I'm going to launch a poll, and it's going to say, how many losers do you expect here, playing in 4 spades? Okay, let's end the poll there, and I'm going to share the results with you. And nearly all of you have gone for 3 losers, with 10% saying 4 losers. And yes, it looks like you should just lose 3 tricks. If we look at the suits one at a time, we don't expect to lose any spades. We've got 2 hearts that we're going to lose, and we're missing the ace of diamonds. So it looks like you've just got 3 losers here. But there is the chance of going wrong here. And let's see how that might happen. Let's suppose they start off with East overtakes the jack, plays a heart back, okay, and then plays another heart. Now, you should be aware here of the danger that West is now out of hearts, because East overcalled. So you, fortunately, though, can ruff high. So you should ruff high and not risk being over-ruffed. So let's suppose we ruff with the queen, and West does indeed discard. And now let's suppose we turn our attention to trumps. Suppose we start by trying to draw trumps. We play 1 round, everyone follows. We play a 2nd round, and again, everyone follows. And let's see what happens if you now draw that last round. There's 1 trump still out, and let's suppose we draw it with the ace. Well, the problem now is that although we've got rid of all the trumps, we haven't forced out the ace of diamonds yet. So when we play our diamonds, East may get in, and East is now in a position to cash a heart. Because we ruffed, we don't have any more heart, we don't have any more trumps in the south hand, and East will be able to take a heart trick. So after that, if they play another heart, we can ruff that in dummy, and we'll then claim the rest. But we'll go off. We'll actually lose 4 tricks, and we won't make our contract. So what went wrong on that hand? Well, the problem was that we ran out of trump in the south hand before we had established the diamond. So what can we do about that? Well, let's play this again. Exactly as before, let's assume they start off with 2 hearts, play a 3rd heart, which we ruff, and you can start drawing trumps here. You can draw 2 rounds, but at this point, because you haven't set up the diamonds yet, you need to not draw that last round yet. You need to keep your ace of spades so that you can stop them cashing any hearts if they get in. So what you need to now do is turn your attention to diamonds. You're delaying drawing that last trump. And now if they get in with the ace of diamonds, if they play a heart, we've still got the ace of spades to ruff with. There's still a trump out, so we need to get to dummy, perhaps with a club, and we can draw that last trump there, and we'll make 10 tricks that way. Okay, So these were the four hands. You can see that East had a beautiful heart suit, but the key there was not to draw all the trumps, but to establish the side suit while you still have trump left in the south hand. Anyone have any comments or questions on that one? Okay, let's have a look at another one. And this time we've got to 4 spades. And we opened 1 spade. There was a 2 diamond overcall. North bid 2 hearts. And we then bid 2 spades. We can't really bid anything else there. And my partner puts me into 4 spades. So the opponents start off with a diamond, the king of diamonds here. And again, I'd like you to try and make a plan on this hand. This time, I'm just phrasing the question slightly differently. And the question is going to be, if you get normal, typical distribution in the suits, how many tricks do you expect to make here? So have a little think about how many tricks you expect to make here if you get normal distribution. Okay, let's have a look at the results. And here we've got answers for all possibilities. 12 was the most popular, and then 9, 10, and 11 all scored. So let's have a look and see what we think. Well, if we have normal distribution in spades, we expect we won't lose any tricks there, and we'll make 5 tricks there. In hearts, we hope to make all those hearts except for 1, which is 4 tricks there. And we've got the ace of diamonds, that's 10 tricks so far, and we've got 2 in clubs. So we've got the possibility of 12 tricks here if we can make all those hearts. And there are different ways you could plan to play this hand. One way you could plan to play it is to set up the hearts. And if you look at the heart suit, you'll see that with all those hearts there, you should be able to, although you'll lose a heart, you'll be able to discard 3 times with normal distribution, and you'll be able to discard 3 losers from the south hand, and those could be perhaps 3 diamonds. The other way you might plan to play this, and we'll look at it being played another way, is to plan to ruff the diamonds in dummy. And we'll look to see which works better. The problem with roughing diamonds in dummy is that to get rid of these diamonds, you'll have to rough with the first diamond, you'll rough low, but other diamonds, if you wish to rough them, you'll have to rough high. So if you think about it, in order to draw the opponent's trumps, you really need to keep 3 high trump, the ace, king, queen, for drawing the opponent's trumps, assuming you get normal distribution with someone having the jack and 2 others, let's say. So roughing diamonds probably doesn't work very well. And what you want to do instead is probably try to establish the heart suit. Now, let's suppose we start off by winning the first trick with the ace of diamonds. And we can start by starting to draw some trumps. So we could, for example, take the king, play the queen, and if everyone's followed, now there's just 1 trump out. But I hope you can see that there's a real danger. We must not draw it yet, because if we try to draw that last trump now, although we'll succeed, we haven't set up the heart suit. And when someone gets in with the ace of hearts, they'll be able to cash diamonds because we will have got rid of all the trump from dummy. So a good way to play this is to draw 2 rounds of trumps and then pause and then turn our attention to hearts. And the only slight risk here when we play the hearts is we're risking getting roughed, depending on where the ace is and when they play it. But it really is the only chance, the best chance here to make all those hearts, to set up the heart. So we play 2 rounds and West takes that. And now, of course, if they play another diamond, we still have a trump in dummy. We still have the 7 of spades, and we're able to stop them making any diamonds. Now we've done that, we really want to draw the last trump because we left it out. So we need to come back to our hand, perhaps with a club, and then cash the ace of spades. And that gets rid of the opponent's last trump. And now we can cross back to dummy, which we can do with the king of clubs, and our hearts are good and all the trumps have gone. So now we'll play our hearts and discard our diamonds, and we've got the last 2 tricks as well. So played that way, you can make the 12 tricks you were expecting to make. Making all those hearts is really the superior way to play this. If you try on this hand to rough diamonds, it doesn't work out so well. So let's replay this, but this time we're going to, instead of setting up the hearts, we're going to try to get rid of our diamond losers by roughing. So we can perhaps win the first trick and immediately play a diamond. So you can do that. We now want to get back to the south hand, maybe with a club, and we can rough another diamond. And although this is successful, you can see that you're roughing with high spades here. So you're sort of losing control of trump here. Anyway, that's successful. Let's suppose you play the king of clubs now and maybe play a club which you rough back. And if you try another diamond, you can again rough that successfully. But things are going to start going wrong soon because you haven't drawn any trump. So if you try the king of hearts, West can actually win that with the ace, and West can actually play a heart back and give their partner a rough. Now East is on lead, and East could lead the queen of clubs, and although you can rough, West could over rough that and then maybe lead another diamond, which you rough with the opponent's rough with the 8, and if you want to win that, you're going to have to over rough with the ace. And if you now play spades, they'll get in, and although you'll win that last trick, you'll only make 9 tricks there instead of the 12 tricks. So this was a hand where it was definitely preferable to establish a heart suit rather than try to rough the diamonds. You just have to be a bit careful with establishing the heart suit, that you do it while you still have a 1 trump left at least. You could also play this by playing the hearts immediately before you touch trump. It would work just as well on this occasion, but you mustn't draw all 3 rounds of trumps or you'll be in trouble with the heart suit when you try to set up the hearts. Any comments or questions on that? So let's try one last one. And here we open 1 spade. There's a 2 club overcall. Your partner bids 2 diamonds. They bid 3 clubs. And let's suppose you bid 3 hearts, and now your partner takes you to game. So you've shown 5-4 in the majors by your bidding, and the opponents lead the ace of clubs. And again, we're going to stop to try and make a plan here. And let's have a look at it. In spades, we're hoping we don't lose any tricks. If barring a bad distribution, we won't lose any tricks there. In hearts, we won't lose any tricks. Diamonds, we've got the ace to lose, and we've also got the 9 of clubs to lose. So with any luck, we can make 11 tricks on this hand. So let's see how it goes. They start off with the ace of clubs, and they play another club, which we rough. And if you can, on these kinds of hands, you should draw trumps if you can afford to do so. And here I think I can, or I'm going to start drawing trumps, because if I start playing the ace of spades and then the king of spades, if everyone follows, there's now just 1 trump out, and I can afford to draw it, okay? And now I can turn my attention to diamonds, and I'm okay doing that because I still have the 6 of spades. So I can play the diamonds, If they don't take their ace, I'll just carry on, force out the ace. But whatever they play back now, if they play back a club, I can ruff now with the very last trump. Okay, and now the rest of the tricks are mine. So I can just take my queen and cash my remaining heart tricks. And played that way, I will make the 11 tricks that I was expecting to make. So here there was no real need to delay drawing trumps. You can just draw trumps, they fall in 3 rounds. And then, because I've still got a trump, I can then turn my attention to diamonds. But what if, when I'm playing, I get a bad break in trump? Can you cope with a bad trump break? Let's bring up the 4 hands on this one and let's just have a look at it. This is the same hand from north-south perspective, but you can see I've got a bad trump break coming my way, a 4-1 trump break. So let's play it as we did before. We'll ruff the second club. Then we start on spades. But when we play the second round, West discards. So you're now in a bit of trouble because you're going to lose 1 more trick. East has got the Jack 10, and you're going to lose 1 trick there. You can't avoid it. But what you must not do now is carry on with trump. If I click on the GIB button, it's actually telling me that if I lead a spade, I will could now be defeated by 2 tricks if I lead the queen of spades. So what I want to do instead is, before I draw any more trumps, I want to establish the diamond suit. So that's what I'm going to do. Then if the opponents get in with their ace of diamonds, if they now switch to a club, I can ruff that now in dummy. So I can discard here and ruff in dummy. And now things are much better because my diamond suit has been established. Now, what I want to do on this hand is actually draw 1 more round of trump, but then leave the other high trump out. So I'm going to come back to my hand, play the queen, and get rid of 1 trump, and then let East ruff in with their last spade whenever they want. All my suits are now established, so I can now play the hearts and the diamonds. Whatever I play, at some point, East will get in with their Jack of spades, but I've still got a trump left, so I can ruff their last club and take my last trick, and take 10 tricks there. I couldn't do any better there because of the bad trump break. But again, it needed slightly careful handling. And the idea was there to delay drawing the last trump until you've established the diamond suit, so that the opponents can't get in again. So that is, but if the distribution was normal, then draw trump if you can. But on this particular layout, you need to establish the diamonds before you draw a 3rd round of trump, or you can easily be defeated there. So that was it for this evening. Anyone have any questions on any of that? Just to add a little bit to that, basically, if we look at the way this was replayed, if you play that spade here, when you draw the 2nd round of trump, you are in a bit of trouble here. And this is the point you need to think about, okay, I need to stop drawing trump here, because if you try to draw trump, then things will go wrong, because they'll get in with the ace of diamonds, and then you'll be in trouble. So if I do what the computer says I shouldn't do, if, for example, I play the queen of spades here, okay, I can draw that one. But now, when if I now try to play the diamonds to set up the diamonds, they can get in, and they can now draw my last trump. So now things are not going well for me. And now they'll be able to cash their clubs, because I've got no more trumps left. Okay, so you can see that at this point they can defeat the contract by 3 tricks by cashing their clubs. So it just needs a bit of careful handling of the trump suit there, especially when you need to set up a side suit and will therefore let the opponents in. Okay. Any comments or questions on any of that? I hope you all followed it. Okay, so we'll end the talk there. I hope you found that interesting, and we will start the game at 7:30.